In Config 2025, Figma released Figma Make, one more product that leverages AI and vibe coding to create websites or different products. In this video, I'm going to take a deep dive into Figma Make in its current beta status. I want to show you the product and everything that it can do so you can make an informed decision, what you think of it, and how you can use it for your process. So to get started in Figma Make, if you click your plus button, or if you're getting started from your homepage, when Make is available to you, it will become one more product that you can choose. As you can see here, I have Buzz, Site, and Make, all three in beta. So I'm going to select Figma Make, and this will open a new file for me. It stays open along with Figma design files or other Figma Draw or other things that were released as well. So first of all, let's look at the interface itself. At the very top left, you have the Figma Home as usual, which gives you file access, new make, new design, new gem. So this is a generic Figma file access. And here you have the name of your file and your ability to move it. You can duplicate it, rename it, or move it with Figma design files, the same way you can behave with Figma Make. You can see the status, it's in AI beta. And right here on the left side is the creation panel. So here you have the options to start making things, and we will come back here, look more deeply at the different things you can do. But at the very top, we have three buttons on the left of this main canvas. This canvas here is where whatever we make will get created, and it has two statuses. There's a preview and there's a code. These three action buttons right here, one of them is the refresh preview. So as you're working with your preview, if you need to refresh it, you can click it. This is a console. If you click on it, it opens a console where developers can debug the work, debug the code once we have something generated in the canvas. And this particular element here, the point and edit, it allows you to select a specific item in the canvas and prompt the AI regarding this item. I will show you how to use it as we enhance more elements on the canvas. This is your icon. This is the preview mode, the play mode if you wanted to see it in full screen. We have some settings, the publish and share buttons, which we will come back to. At the very bottom, you have the same help icon that is very generic to Figma. And right in here are all the prompts that we can use to start making with Figma Make. So, to get started, from my exploration, there are different ways that you can make things in Figma Make. First of all, you can create things through an idea. So here it's asking you, what do you want to make? And it's giving you some prompts, some suggestions like a data dashboard, a gradient gallery, or you can describe your own idea. Getting started from an idea is one possibility, and I'm going to show you how we will do that. But what I also want you to note, and we're going to explore, is you can make things by attaching a Figma design file or by attaching a screenshot or an image. For those of you who are familiar with vibe coding, you must have seen this by now. This is very possible to create something through a screenshot by other similar tools and AI creators. However, I think the biggest advantage from my explorations with Figma Make is the ability to attach a Figma design file, because when you attach a Figma design file, we can do a lot with it. So now that we had a quick look at the interface, let's start using it. When it's asking me, what do you want to make? You can either describe your own idea and prompt it to create something here, or you can get started with the suggestions. Just for the sake of this demo, I am going to get started from one of the suggestions and say data dashboard. And the moment I click on this, you will see there is a prompt that's already created on my behalf. So this is a sample prompt, and it's kind of an indication of what we can do. And just for reference, Figma is leveraging Claude. If you're not familiar with Claude, it's an AI generator similar to ChatGPT, but it's very specific in terms of coding and complexity. If you search in Google, you will see very clearly the differentiation between Claude and ChatGPT. So The moment I've entered this prompt, if I click on this send arrow, you will see the AI is thinking. You see this animation in the Figma Make icon, as well as right here in the preview, you see it's building the idea. And from my exploration so far, this takes its own time based on the complexity of the prompt. But while it's generating, you can see things happening in preview mode and also in code mode. The dashboard eventually loaded. You can see there's a full dashboard here. It has a welcome message. It has a performance. And look at that. This is not just a random design. It's actually an interactive chart. As I hover on it, there's a value. All these different items are interactive. This is pretty good. Look at this table. As I hover on it, the rows are actually interactive. From just a small suggested prompt, we generated this dashboard. The work that happens with vibe coding and that everybody is going crazy about is now you can start creating prompts to enhance whatever you created. So an example prompt that I can do here is I can say, please transform this dashboard into a dark mode theme. There's so many things to enhance here, right? Like there's so many little errors. If I were to look at the details, we can even click on the play button here while the AI is making changes just to see it in full preview mode, in a full page mode. And one thing that you will notice when you're previewing it, or even if you were to copy the share button to copy the link and paste it in your browser, it will be a similar result to this. Figma has this warning on the very top saying, this wasn't made by Figma, never enter or share professional information in Figma Make. And that's a very decent warning because, of course, this is not a Figma property. This is created by different people. But definitely, this is a much better view. You can see all the different things that are here. I can see that the navigation is interacting as I click on it. The search component as well, it's interactive. The new project component, of course, it's not opening something new. We can generate that if we continue prompting, but it's live, it's available. Here it is. It's saying, I've transformed the dashboard into a dark mode theme by implementing a theme provider for state management and adding a theme toggle in the navbar. Wow, did it do that? Let's see. Let's see if the display here is showing us our latest version. Yes, it took a second, but it loaded. I really like this dark mode. And I think this is the toggle that it mentioned. Wow. There's a nice theme toggle at the very top. I love this. You can see it actually leveraged Tailwind dark mode classes and CSS variables. That is excellent because Tailwind is one of the most recent libraries that is heavily used by front-end developers, heavily loved even. And the fact that the Figma AI has leveraged Tailwind is a very good indication for me. So when you're ready to share, if you click on share, you see just like Figma Design, you have the ability to copy the link, to share it with people in your team. You even can copy a link to the full screen access. And if I were to come to my browser and paste the link, I will have the full view link with the same warning. But what I want you to see is this is not just a design file. This is actually HTML code. If I were to click on inspect, I will be able to open the console and I can see the full HTML code that was generated by Figma. There are some errors, there are some warnings, but this is not just a design file. With one click, we were able to generate code from an idea. And that's the power of Figma Make or vibe coding in general. That's what AI is able to do for us right now. And this is simply incredible because less than a few months ago, this was not possible. Those of you who are watching this in the future, you may think, oh, what is she talking about? This is our norm. But for those of us who are still in this era, in this day and time, this is simply magical. So this is how you get started generating a Figma Make dashboard from an idea. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to make something by attaching a Figma file. So I'm going to click on Attach Design, and I'm going to go to the Figma community just so we're starting with something very random. And I'm going to type dashboard here, and you can see it's going through the Figma community and leveraging the so many dashboards that actually exist. So many templates created by fellow designers are now accessible to us, which is a great starting point. Because remember, whatever we're creating is actually not just a design file, but in Figma Make, you are generating code that is live in your browser. And I'm going to show you this. But let's start with one of those Figma designs. This is a material dashboard 2 created by Creative Tim. Okay, I'm going to select that and I will attach this design, and you will see it's simply attaching the design, but it's still waiting for me to give it a prompt. Create a dashboard, getting started with the attached design. And of course, it's going to start thinking and take its time to generate this. While it's doing this, I'm going to show you another dashboard that I created from the Figma community, attaching this dashboard. If you look at my prompt history, I started with this design file that created this, and then I gave further prompts to the AI to actually enhance this and make the dashboard slightly interactive. You can see now when I click on those cards, they have something that opens, and I can actually move between the different data points. I also gave it a prompt to bring this image to the front and to make it interactive, so you can see it's growing as I click on it. It's quite versatile, actually. I'm able to do so many things with it. From preview, if you click on the code, you will see the code that's actually generated. This design was started from a Figma file, so based on how the creator created it, whether they've used auto layout or different things, I'm sure that impacts the quality of the code, but I'm not one who is going to comment on the quality of the Figma code because this is not my expertise. I've seen some videos where there are comments about Figma site's code not being up to par, but for many of us, I think what's happening here is really incredible. Now coming back here to my new application, you can see this new dashboard just got generated, and you will see just from a Figma design, Figma Make was able to generate this code for this dashboard. And this is where Figma Make intersects with Figma Sites. Using a Figma design file, you can actually generate the code that you want. Next, now let's get started from a screenshot. And I will say, create a food website from the screenshot attached. And here it goes. Look at this. It generated a website. So we have a full navigation on top. We have a hero. There is no image here, so probably that's going to be my first prompt, but there's proper text with a description, with the ability to have calls to action. This one is interactive, the other one is not. But look at that. There's some beautiful interactive carts with menu items that are already interactive without me needing to prompt, featured recipes. Maybe I need to add some images, but already you can see what people say, and there's a whole footer. This is incredible from just one prompt. Now, let's come back here, and I want to show you one very handy feature, which is this arrow. When you select this point and edit arrow, it allows you to select specific items and prompt the AI specifically in relation to those items. So I've selected this section, and I'm going to say, add a food hero image as background to this section. And I think this is the whole art, like learning how to prompt the AI to actually get your desired result. From my experience, if you just speak simple language, using technical words where needed, it's been working quite well for me. But I'm sure it's something that we can learn better as we practice. And here you go. It actually took a really nice image and put it right here. Let me go back here and it refreshed it. Now let me try something a little bit more complex. I want to actually select the navigation items, and I'm going to say make the navigation interactive and add a background color on hover and a different background color when tab is selected. Let's see if the AI is able to follow this prompt. And look at that, it did it. You can see my tabs are interactive. When I select a tab, it has an underline and a background. Well, it didn't exactly follow what I said, but it did create a distinction between my selected state and my hover state, which is great. The last thing I need to show you is when you click on publish, you will be prompted to create a title, and your URL will be a Figma site website if you choose to publish this creation. And there you have it. This is Figma Make. I hope you found this demo useful so you can make your own informed decision about Figma Make. In my opinion, I think it's a really amazing tool, and most importantly, it is Figma making a statement that they are on the cutting edge of new technologies, and there's constantly innovation from their side to keep up with what's happening. The biggest advantage, the way I perceive Figma Make and Figma Sites, is they are leveraging Figma designs. The designs are already created, and with one click, you can generate the code. This is the advantage that they have over other tools for vibe coding that are simply starting from screenshots. Of course, currently it's still in beta, so there's a lot of enhancements that naturally will be coming up soon as they keep exploring and utilizing this tool and hearing more feedback from designers and other people who are consuming it. In my next video, we're going to explore Figma Sites, not just have a look at it, but to continue our UX portfolio series. For so many of you who have been watching with me all the different guidance that we've been exploring to create a standout UX portfolio, we're going to use Figma Sites to publish our portfolio. Click on the bell icon so you get notified the next time a video is released. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel.